Hey guys, we've made it through a week of remote learning, and I hope you're settling in and you've got a great routine going. This is the last part of this particular lesson on author's purpose and message. So let's get started. So let's review author's purpose. Remember to keep in mind pied. Author's right to persuade. They want to try to get you to buy or do something. These are things like advertisements and campaign speeches, writing your mom a letter hoping she'll let you have a pet, that sort of thing. Author's right to inform. They want to tell you about something by giving you information, articles, textbooks, nonfiction books, biographies, anytime you're reading anything that has a lot of facts. Author's right to entertain. This is what you read for fun, things to amuse you or tell you a good story. Author's right to explain. They want to tell you how to do something or how something works. Instructions, science experiments, recipes, and the directions for a game. An author's right to describe. They want to give you a picture of something or someone or tell you what happened. These are great examples like newspaper articles and product descriptions. If you were to pick up a game and read the back and it's telling you all about the game, then that's written to describe. So let's look at some examples together. John couldn't wait for his friends to come over to his house. He had just gotten the newest game for his Xbox, and they were all going to play it. He had been talking about it for weeks, and now was the big day. He bought a lot of food to eat, made a place for everyone to sit. They were going to have a ball. Pause for a second and think about what is the author's purpose? How do you know? Why did the author include the underlined part? So the author's purpose here is to entertain. I know this because it sounds like a story that's for fun. The author included the underlined part to emphasize the words and to show how much fun they were going to have. Number 2, a football field is the shape of a rectangle. It is 120 yards long and 53.5 yards wide. Each end zone is 10 yards and has a goalpost in it for players to kick the ball into. The field is split into 10 yards with white lines. Some fields are made of grass as green as emeralds, and others are made of fake grass called turf. What is the author's purpose? How do you know? Why did the author include the underlined part? The author's purpose is to describe. I know this because the information provides what a football field looks like. The author included the underlined part to emphasize the figurative language they chose to use. Here's another example. Making fake snot is fun to do. You'll need to gather the following: boiling water, get help from an adult, cup, gelatin, corn syrup, a teaspoon, and a fork. First, fill the cup halfway with boiling water. Then add 3 teaspoons of gelatin to the boiling water and wait for it to soften before stirring with a fork. Next, add 1/4 cup of corn syrup. Stir the mixture again with your fork to see the long strands of gunk. Continue to add small amounts of water as the mixture cools and see what happens. See if you can answer our 3 questions. The author's purpose here is to explain. Again, they want to give directions on how to do something. The underlined part tells you what the outcome will be. Here's another example. An egg usually sinks to the bottom of a glass of water. But what happens when you add salt to the water? Try this easy experiment to find out. You will need an egg, water, salt, and a tall glass. Pour the water into the glass until it is half full. Then stir in about 6 tablespoons of salt. Next, carefully pour some water into the glass until it is nearly full, but try not to mix the salty water and the plain water. Finally, gently lower the egg into the water and watch what happens. So we can see the author's purpose here is to explain. The paragraphs gives us directions, and the underlined part shows us that this is a very important step. The green anaconda is one of the longest snakes in the world. It can be as long as 29 feet and 12 inches wide. It can be as heavy as 550 pounds. The green anaconda lives in the swamps and marshes of South America. When it catches its prey, it squeezes it as tight as a belt to kill it. Anacondas are big and scary snakes. Did I get it right? Do you agree that this is to describe? Everyone should go hunting. It is as fun as going to the fair. It's fun to hang out with my dad all day long. We sit quietly and wait for a deer or turkey to come along. When we see it, we wait for the right moment to get it. The best part about hunting is eating what we bring home. You will love hunting, so give it a try. I think this is a great example of persuade. The author is trying to convince me to try something new and gives me reasons to try it. Here's another great example of persuade. See if you can find the reasons. I thought this was a good example of persuade. See if you agree that this example is all about explaining. Read this example about the popsicle and see if you agree that it is to inform. Another one that I thought was a good example of inform. Again, read the example and see if you can find the details that would help you understand this author is writing to inform. This example touches my heart. Read for at least 20 minutes each night. Again, another great example of persuade. See if you can find the reasons the author wants you to read 20 minutes each night. Here's a poem. Wolf, gray, dangerous, walking, eating, howling, like a ghost in the night. Timber wolf. I thought this might be to entertain. I know that this is to entertain because it's a poem and it's for fun. There's not a lot of information given. It's not trying to persuade me of anything. It's not necessarily describing, and it's not there to the author included the underlined part to emphasize the adjectives describing what the wolf does. Good job. Now you're going to do some work on your own.